This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 28th day of December in the year 2023. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. The government of Venezuela has rejected the deployment of a British Navy vessel to the coast of Guyana, declaring that the move is an act of hostile provocation. In a statement today, the Venezuelan government said the deployment of the British Navy vessel to Guyana is also a violation of the Argyle Declaration, which followed the meeting between the presidents of Guyana and Venezuela in St. Vincent. The Venezuelan government said the presence of the military vessel is extremely serious, since it is accompanied by statements made by political and military spokespersons who insist on meddling in the controversy, referring to British officials. The Venezuelan government said it is urging the Guyanese authorities to take immediate action for the withdrawal of the British Navy vessel HMS Trent, and to refrain from continuing the involvement of military powers in the territorial controversy. The statement from the Venezuelan government also made reference to a recent announcement by the U.S. Military Southern Command that it was conducting military flights over Guyana. The British Department of Defense, in confirming the deployment of the Navy vessel, said it was already in the region assisting with drug eradication exercises, but will now focus on training programs with the Guyana military in areas of security. Venezuela has also issued a warning to CARICOM and the Community of Latin American States group that the deployment of the British warship to Guyana's waters is contrary to the spirit of peace and understanding that came out of the December 14 meeting between the two presidents in St. Vincent. The government of Venezuela said Venezuela reserves itself of all actions within the framework of its constitution and international law to defend the maritime and territorial integrity of its homeland. Venezuela continues to claim Guyana's Essequibo region, which amounts to two-thirds of the country. Guyana has repeatedly rejected the claims, and in 2018 filed a case before the International Court seeking a final settlement and reinforcing the 1899 arbitral award, which settled the border dispute. Tensions flared 2 months ago as Venezuela started a build-up of military personnel close to the border with Guyana and held a referendum seeking to annex Guyana's Essequibo. With international condemnation mounting on Venezuela and the international community rejecting its claims, CARICOM and CELAC stepped in and brought the presidents of the two countries together for a face-to-face meeting in St. Vincent. Following the discussions between the two presidents, the Argyle Declaration was issued, which states that the two neighboring countries will not threaten or use force against one another in any circumstances, including those that are consequential to any existing controversy between the two. The two sides also agreed to establish a joint commission of foreign ministers and technical persons to address matters as mutually agreed. In their joint declaration, Guyana and Venezuela agreed to continue dialogue on other pending matters. They also agreed to refrain from escalating any conflict or disagreement. Guyana and Venezuela have also declared that they will meet again in Brazil within the next 3 months or at a time agreed to by them. The declaration also noted Guyana's position that the border case is properly before the International Court of Justice, and that is where it will remain for final settlement, while the declaration also noted Venezuela's rejection of the court to adjudicate the matter.
A very Merry Guyanese Christmas, wishing you are here.
Top up, activate a data plan, pay your monthly GTT bill to enter for a chance to be one of 10 weekly winners over 6 weeks. That's 60 winners in total, with one lucky winner from every week having a chance to win the Mega Million Grand Prize. See personal details. It's the GTT Mega Million Christmas promotion. GTT, Guyana's largest and most reliable network.
We're sporting until we drop.
Oh my lord, I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look the makeup.
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store.
It's
It's your time to win big. The Massey Stores Christmas Jackpot promotion is back and bigger than before. Spend $5,000 at any Massey Stores to be the lucky winner of a brand new MGZS and fantastic weekly store prizes from now until January 31st, 2024. What are you waiting for? Head to your nearest Massey Stores to shop now. See our Facebook and Instagram pages for more details. Massey Stores, our family serving your family.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that my crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
Welcome back. Let's tell you now that Vice President Bar Jagdeo today said the deployment of a British Navy vessel to the coast of Guyana is not a threat to neighboring Venezuela, nor is it in breach of the Argyle Declaration, since the move forms part of Guyana's efforts to enhance its defense capabilities. Caracas has rejected the British Navy vessel's deployment to Guyana, stating that the move is a violation of the Argyle Declaration, which followed the meeting between the presidents of Guyana and Venezuela in St. Vincent. Vice President Jagdeo said the military exercises with the United Kingdom were long planned.
A lot of these measures were long planned and they are routine and they are part of our building a defensive capability. Nothing that we do or we have done has threatened Venezuela. We don't plan on invading Venezuela. President Maduro knows this and he needs not have any worry about that. That assurance was given to him in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
According to the Vice President, the President has been in touch with St. Vincent Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves, making it clear that Guyana supports the Argyle Declaration and Guyana would do nothing that will harm or affect Venezuela and its territory. He made it clear that before the Argyle meeting, Guyana made it clear that it has no aggressive intent, and that position still stands.
We don't have any plan to take offensive action against Venezuela. Whatever we do here has been routine and has been long planned and is part of our building a defensive capability in Guyana, not necessarily to fight wars, but to police better our exclusive economic zone and our territorial integrity and sovereignty.
Mr. Jagdeo said the president has not ordered the withdrawal of the vessel from Guyana's waters, since its presence forms part of military training that Guyana has conducted before with its international partners. With more than 140 nurses leaving their jobs at the Georgetown Hospital over the past 11 months, the country's premier public health institution has found itself facing a severe shortage of nurses. The fear is the situation could worsen over the next year. At a press conference today, Chief Executive Officer of the Georgetown Hospital, Bobby Rambaran, said there is need for 600 nurses at the hospital to meet the global industry standard.
We have a deficit about 55% in our direct nursing care. That's maybe about 600 nurses we need. And this is to take industry standard. Industry standard meaning an ICU, we need a one-to-one, one nurse to one patient in a step down, which is a high dependency unit, 2-to-1, and then there are other areas that you 1-to-4, 1-to-6. So based on those industry standard, when we compute that with the amount of beds we have, we are about 600 nurses short.
The public hospital currently has over 450 beds, with some 881 nurses on duty. Like other hospitals across the country, the Georgetown Hospital has been losing its nursing staff to the United Kingdom, Canada, and a number of Caribbean countries. Director of Nursing Services Sister Leslyn Holder, in her report, disclosed that for 2023, a total of 146 nurses resigned from the Georgetown Hospital.
For staffing, starting January 2023, we commenced the year with a total of 896 nursing staff, of which 116 are staff on loan from the Ministry of Health. Staffing at the end of November, and there is no change to current date, we have a total of 881 staff, of which 148 are staff on loan from the Ministry of Health. We have, throughout the year, had 86 new hires and 2 rehires. We had 146 resignations.
In 2022, a total of 107 nurses left their jobs at the hospital, with a number of resignations outnumbering the number of hires per annum. GPHC has resorted to the use of foreign nurses. Currently, there are 33 Cuban nurses in the system, and according to the hospital's administration, a request has been made to the Health Ministry for additional Cuban nurses to work alongside locals. Holder said the shortfall in nurses is being felt throughout the hospital and remains a significant challenge, as key aspects of healthcare delivery are at risk of being affected. She said nonetheless, the hospital has been improving healthcare delivery through robust and continuous education and training by the in-service education unit in partnership with the hospital's regional and international partners. The government of Guyana has signaled its intention to go after social media influencers for what it considers to be irresponsible comments against government officials and private individuals on social media. At a Freedom House press conference today, Vice President Bar Jagdew said persons who make comments on social media will be held responsible for those comments. He said private citizens should also take action against those influencers who use the social media platforms that attack them.
So I hope that the other social media influencers who are operating under the guise that they are not in our jurisdiction and they feel safe abroad, safe from the reach of our law, that they're taking note to. And I hope that anyone that they malign, people who they malign, you sue them now and get somebody to serve, hire somebody abroad, authorize people to serve them the notice or the summon, and you make sure they video it like they did with Rickford Burke, and then you go proceed in court.
The Ghana Police Force recently dispatched one of its officers to the United States to serve a court summons on political activist Rickford Burke, who has been openly critical of the Ghana government. Burke, who has been living in the U.S. for more than 25 years, has dismissed the charges against him. Mr. Jagdew said it cannot be business as usual when persons think they can say whatever about the government or citizens and have a free pass. He said persons ought to be responsible for their utterances on social media.
They live abroad. They have nothing good to say about our country. They sow divisions, discord, every single day by their comments. They use social media as a weapon against the government, but also against private citizens of our country. They use social media as a means of extorting people. And clearly, this can't be free speech. This can be protected speech. This cannot be this area of criminality.
He said if persons in Guyana say some of the things those overseas Guyanese are saying, they have to face the law. And similarly, those overseas will also have to face the law.
So I'm so pleased that we could actually start holding people accountable for what they say. Now people can say whatever they wish.
Since taking office, the government has filed a number of cybercrime cases against various persons for statements on social media.
Come 1966, when independence is now to be gained from the colonial master, we saw Venezuela upping the ante in relation to what it can now do to a small country on its eastern border. And it started all the activities, and I will name a couple, which not only was a violation of our territorial integrity, but also was an undermining of our investment prospects in that almost 3/5 of Guyana. I am glad that we signed a deal with ExxonMobil that had geopolitical advantages about it, although a number of people said that it was the most rotten deal that we ever did. We are going to see the benefit of it.
Look at the breathtaking beauty of the Essequibo, from its pristine rivers to its abundant resources. It's a treasure that belongs to Guyana, and we ask Venezuela to respect the rule of international law.
Our commitment to this land is not just about ownership. It's about preserving its beauty and resources for our people and future generations.
The controversy between Guyana and Venezuela was settled internationally as full, perfect, and final in 1899. Essequibo belongs to Guyana.
Investigators from the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority are continuing their investigations into the Ghana Defence Force helicopter crash that claimed the lives of 5 GDS servicemen on December 6 as it was being flown to Arau in Region 7. The GCAA is leading the investigations, and its investigators have been interviewing GDF personnel, including the 2 survivors of the crash. Officials at the Civil Aviation Authority are tight-lipped about their probe and will only say that the investigations are ongoing. News source understands that the GCAA has been in possession of the cockpit voice data recorder, which captured the last words of those in the Bell helicopter moments before it went down. The helicopter was being flown by Lieutenant Colonel Mike Charles with Lieutenant Andy O. Crawford as his co-pilot. Charles lost his life in the crash, while Crawford was one of 2 survivors. News source has learned that the investigators are looking into the actions of the flight team in the lead up to the crash and whether procedures and regulations for flying in bad weather conditions were properly followed. There is concern that the helicopter was being flown extremely low to escape the heavy clouds that were in the area at the time. It is suspected that the helicopter might have come into contact with trees and the side of a mountain before the pilots lost control and it spiraled out of control, eventually crashing through the trees and hitting the ground, bursting into flames on its way down. 3 of the 5 servicemen who died in the crash were burnt beyond recognition. The other 2 sustained multiple injuries. Investigators are depending heavily on the account of the 2 survivors as they probe the incident. In addition to the investigation by the Civil Aviation Authority, the Ghana Defense Force is conducting its own investigations at the level of a board of inquiry. There are some retired military officers who believe that an independent investigation or a commission of inquiry should also be carried out into the crash of the Bell helicopter, which was purchased and put into operation just months before. One former senior officer told News Source that an independent investigation should be carried out to ensure all of the details come out in the probe and are made public, laying blame for the crash wherever it might fall. There is no plan at this stage for any independent inquiry. The helicopter crash claimed the lives of retired Brigadier Gary Beaton, Colonel Michael Shahut, Lieutenant Colonel Sean Welcome, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Charles, and Staff Sergeant Jason Khan, who was posthumously promoted to rank of Warrant Officer Class 2. The Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation has announced that it has made significant strides in the area of maternal and neonatal care, with the hospital registering significant declines in both maternal and neonatal deaths. A total of 10 maternal deaths were recorded for this year, in addition to 98 neonatal deaths. A neonate is a newborn baby that is less than 4 weeks old. At the hospital's end-of-year press conference today, Coordinator of Neonatal Services, Dr. Sarah Singh, reported that patient care has been improving steadily at the hospital.
Of the total number of patients delivered at GPHC and the patients seen at the emergency room, we have unfortunately lost 98 neonates to date in total. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the lowest number of deaths in one calendar year ever recorded in this hospital's history.
In November, the hospital recorded its lowest number of deaths in neonatal intensive care unit, that number being 1. In painting a picture of progress made in reducing deaths of neonates, Dr. Singh explained that in 2019, there were 124 deaths, followed by 118 deaths in 2020 and 2021, and some 129 deaths in 2022. It was further disclosed that between 2012 and 2022, the hospital recorded an average of 150 neonatal deaths. Dr. Singh attributed the hospital's success in this regard to the introduction of a number of systems and equipment, including the addition of 10 warmers and 10 incubators. Meanwhile, Head of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Dr. Rafi Rozan, told the news conference that his department recorded a decline in maternal deaths when compared to 2022 and 2021.
Do note in 2023 we would have had 10 maternal deaths. As compared from the 2 previous years, there would have been a decline, 7 of which are basically are direct deaths, and 2 of which are indirect and 1 yet to be classified.
In 2022, the hospital recorded 16 maternal deaths, while in 2021, some 17 maternal deaths were recorded. He said of the patients who died at GPHC, 7 were transferred from other hospitals, with 6 of them in a critical condition. There were a number of stillbirths recorded.
With regards to stillbirth, do note that the World Health Organization defines stillbirth as a baby who dies after 28 weeks of pregnancy, but before or during birth. Now, globally, there is an estimation of approximately 2 million stillbirths per year. It means 1 stillbirth every 16 seconds. Now, here we can appreciate in 2023 we had 54 stillbirths.
In total, the Georgetown Hospital recorded a total of 4,860 deliveries so far for this year. The Guyana Fire Service reported today that investigations into the fire are still ongoing. A cause of the fire is still to be determined. Fire investigators were at the scene of the blaze again today, going through the rubble. The fire service in Lynden responded promptly to the emergency call for help on Christmas morning and was able to douse the building quickly, although the woman and 2 children lost their lives. The nurse reportedly went home from a late night shift at the hospital to be with her 2 nieces, who were visiting her for the Christmas holidays. The Lynden community has been left shocked and devastated by the tragedy, with many residents calling for a thorough investigation.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water, now available for only $120.
Across the region tonight, the Belize Defense Force, BDF, is celebrating an extraordinary milestone as Dr. Lydia Guerra has become the first female lieutenant colonel in the Belize Defense Force's history. The BDF says this accomplishment is not only a testament to her dedication and skills, but also a beacon of inspiration for aspiring leaders across the nation. Adding another feather to her cap, Dr. Guerra, who is a mother of 2 girls, now takes on the crucial role of the force medical officer with her expertise in internal medicine and infectious diseases. Dr. Guerra's academic journey speaks volumes. She has a Master's of Medicine in Internal Medicine, Infectious Diseases from the University of Guyana, 2021, Military Medical Sergeant, University of the Army and Air Force, Mexico, 2011, Bachelor of Science in Biology, University of Belize, 2005, and more. The Belize Defense Force says from her early days as a captain to her recent role as an internal medicine specialist, Dr. Guerra's dedication to providing medical attention to soldiers and their families has been unwavering. Her involvement in HIV/AIDS prevention programs and leadership roles within the Belize Defense Force highlight her commitment to health care and well-being. The The BDF notes Dr. Guerra's contribution extend beyond national borders. As a UNDP consultant and through her involvement in various international courses, she has been a key player in shaping healthcare policies and practices. A brazen ambush by gang members led to carnage along the Churchill-Roosevelt Highway in St. Augustine on Thursday, as 4 people, including an innocent woman who was in her house, were murdered. According to Trinidad Guardian, the gunmen were targeting the Trinidad artist known as Kashif Alexander when they launched a gun attack along the westbound lane of one of the country's busiest highways. Police believe the attack was orchestrated after a picture of the entertainer and his entourage showing them set to depart the airport in Barbados for Trinidad was posted to social media less than 1 hour before the incident. Investigators confirmed Alexander's flight landed at the Piarco International Airport at 1:40 p.m. and the group left there in a white wagon around 2:35 p.m. It was reported that as the car stopped at the intersection of the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine, a black car pulled alongside and gunmen opened fire on the entertainer's car. The driver of the car under attack sped off in an attempt to escape, but the other car pursued them and the gunmen continued firing until the other car crashed into a container. After the car crashed, some of the passengers ran out and began running in various directions. However, the gunmen got out of their vehicle and first pumped several bullets into the driver, who had been pinned behind the wheel, before pursuing the others. The driver died at the scene. The gunmen shot another of the victims as he ran east along the highway. He collapsed and died in the middle of the roadway. All this while there were scores of motorists heading east in traffic. The third man was pursued and killed along Bassey Street. Police believe the woman, the 4th victim, may have been peeping through a window of her second-story house as the gunshots rang out and was struck in the head by a stray bullet as the gunmen ran shooting after their target along Bassey Street. And finally tonight, international news. A federal judge in Georgia upheld a Republican-drawn congressional map on Thursday, rejecting arguments from voting rights groups and Democrats that the latest district lines illegally diluted voting power of black residents near Atlanta. The decision from U.S. District Judge Steve Jones likely ensures that Republicans will maintain their 9-5 advantage among the state's 14 seats in the U.S. House of Representatives. In his ruling, Jones said the General Assembly fully complied with the court's order requiring the creation of black majority districts in the regions of the state where vote dilution was found. The case is one of several lawsuits whose outcomes could determine which party controls the House after next November's vote. Democrats need to capture a net of 5 Republican seats nationally to win back a majority. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.